Hi guys, so this video is about how to construct a two-way table. So two-way tables, they look like this diagram here. And as you can see, they're made up of a number of categories, and we're looking at two different types of categories here, and that's generally why we would use a two-way table when we're examining the links between two different categories. So we've got our male and female here, and we've got our chocolate and other flavour here. So this might be about the types of ice cream that they like. And from this table we'd be able to work out how many males like chocolate ice cream, how many males like other flavours of chocolate ice creams, or how many people in general like chocolate ice cream out of the total number. So because we have all of this information in here, we can actually determine a whole lot of probabilities about a particular situation using a two-way table. For our example, we're going to have a look at a car salesman, and our example is here. So we have a car salesman that notes that among his 40 cars there are 15 automatic cars and 10 sports cars, and only 2 of the sports cars are automatic. And our first task is to create a two-way table for this situation. So what you'll need to do is draw up a table similar to the one here now, and then we're going to add in our labels. So if you pause now and go ahead and do that. Okay, so if you're having a bit of trouble with what your labels might be, for our first side, so we've got a type of car. So we've got sports cars and not sports cars. Then we've also got a particular type of transmission of our cars. So we've got automatic cars and not automatic cars, or you might write manual cars. There's only 2 options usually. So once we've labelled each of our 2 categories, we can then go adding the information that we have about that. So there were 40 cars in total. Now this part down here is the total number of items that we're looking at. There are 15 automatic cars, so in total there are 15. There are 10 sports cars, so there are 10 sports cars in total reading across. And 2 of the sports cars are automatic, so we can fill in that there. So that's using all the information that we've been given. Now we have enough information there now to finish completing the table. So 2 plus something equals 10, so this will be 8. 10 plus something equals 40, so this will be 30. 2 plus something equals 15, so this will be 13. 13 plus something equals 30, so 17. And then we have our last value here, 25. Okay, so now that we've completed our two-way table, we can now calculate the probabilities that were asked to in questions B, C, and D. So for B, we want to calculate the probability of randomly selecting a car that's a sports car and is not automatic. So probability of sports and not auto. So remember, we're looking for our number of outcomes that suit this over the total number of outcomes. So that will be a sports car that is not automatic. So we want to look at all of the sports cars, all of the cars. So that's 40 cars in total that there are, and we want a sports car that's not automatic. So there were 8 non-auto sports cars, so 8 over 40, and then we can go about simplifying that, and that becomes 1 over 5. Or 0.2. Okay, then for C, we want the probability of a randomly selected car will be automatic car that is not a sports car. Okay, so again, we want an auto car that's not sports. Equals, and again, we're out of all of the 40 cars because we're randomly selected car. And which ones were auto and not sports? So if we look over here in our auto column, and then the not sports is 13. So 13 over 40 equals, and that will give us 0.325. Okay, and then we have D. So go ahead and have a go at doing D yourself. So pause here. So for D, the probability of an automatic car is chosen at random, and then what is the probability that it is a sports car? So the probability of a sports from an auto. So they've got auto already. So we're looking at how many autos there are. So there are only 15 autos. And out of that, there were only 2 sports cars that they could select. So 2 over 15. And we can change that to 0.3 recurring, 1.3 recurring if we like. And that's how we construct a two-way table. Thanks guys, have a great day.